Chapter 91 Demon Emperor, you don't want anything to happen to your daughter, right? You are listening at novelfold.audio. Edited content Chapter 91, Demon Emperor, you wouldn't want anything to happen to your daughter, right? The deep-sea demon whale territory, massive energy surges ripped through the air, creating huge cracks that devoured everything around them. The deep-sea demon whale king was defeated, kneeling in the void, covered in blood. He wasn't a god. After all, his energy was still bound by the 9 elements, unable to match Chen Changfeng's divine power. Still, he was a force to be reckoned with among million-year-old soul beasts. Even if it kills me, I'll drag you down, that the deep-sea demon whale king grinned, spitting out his inner core. A blinding purple light erupted. You won't get what you want. King. No, that the demon emperor sensed the danger. The deep-sea demon whale king was about to self-destruct, destroying the inner core meant certain death. Enough, Chen Changfeng was done playing games. With a wave of his hand, space tore open, and the dark evil god tiger reappeared. Tian'er, stop him. Tian'er nodded, the evil god pounced. The deep-sea demon whale king watched in stunned disbelief as his body was instantly consumed, his self-destruction thwarted. The demon emperor looked on in despair as the deep-sea demon whale king vanished. The land beast god had come prepared. Father, a sorrowful cry echoed from below as Lan Fuzi, the deep-sea demon whale king's daughter, appeared. Now everything was going sideways. Chen Changfeng raised an eyebrow, turning his gaze to Lan Fuzi. Lan Fuzi's eyes were clear and bright. Her skin was soft, and her expression gentle. She was pretty, like a young girl just coming of age, though clearly distressed. Lan Fuzi's eyes still held a hint of innocence. She seemed no older than 17 or 18, untouched by the world. Lan'er. What are you doing here? That the demon emperor was shocked. Run. Live to fight another day. Avenge us later. Lan Fuzi hesitated. Run. Abandon her parents? She couldn't do it. Let my father and mother go. Lan Fuzi took a deep breath, determination hardening her gaze. I heard what you said. If I surrender and go with you, will you let them go? Lan'er. The demon emperor cried. Shoo. Chen Changfeng smiled, gesturing for the demon emperor to be quiet. Let her talk. I might change my mind. Demon emperor was speechless. What? Chen Changfeng chuckled. You think she can escape me? Your daughter wants to save you, why not let her have her shot? The demon king's face flushed. Was this guy even human? But he was right. Lan Fuzi couldn't escape. Her 980,000 years of cultivation meant nothing against him, let alone his daughter. Don't hurt my daughter, I'll surrender. The demon emperor's resolve crumbled. She stared at Chen Changfeng. But I need a guarantee. I need to know my husband, the deep-sea demon whale king, is safe. Otherwise. Mother. Lan Fuzi gasped. Quiet. The demon emperor glared at Lan Fuzi, warning her to be quiet. Remember what I said. What was this? They were fighting over who got to be the hero. Chen Changfeng's lips curled into a smile. He found this interesting. But there was no need for this. There was no way either of them could get away. There was no point in fighting over it. Okay, enough arguing. Chen Changfeng chuckled, grabbing Lan Fuzi with a backhand. I want both of you. Letting either of you go would be a waste. The demon emperor's face grew dark with rage. Lan Fuzi wore a similar expression, ignoring their heated glares. Chen Changfeng opened the death arena. The deep-sea demon whale king was being tortured by the dark demon evil god tiger. Though massive, he was powerless in the arena Chen Changfeng had created. The dark demon evil god tiger was completely unaffected. It was at its original power. The deep-sea demon whale king couldn't withstand the beating from the 100,000-year-old spirit beast. Demon emperor. Husband. Lan Fuzi, father. Seeing his wife and daughter in Chen Changfeng's grasp shattered the deep-sea demon whale king's remaining defenses. A roar echoed from the death arena. Weakness was fatal in the world of beasts. Tianer, don't kill him. Chen Changfeng ignored the deep-sea demon whale king's roar. He's still useful. He just wanted the demon emperor and Lan Fuzi to know the deep-sea demon whale king was still alive. He closed the space. Everything went back to how it was before. Okay, you've seen the deep-sea demon whale king. Time to head down and treat me to a cup of tea, don't you think? Chen Changfeng said impatiently. Without giving them a chance to refuse, he vanished into a stream of light. He headed straight for the underwater palace, leaving behind waves that crashed high into the sky. Monster, don't touch my daughter. Come for me. Mother. Shut up. As long as I'm here, I won't let him hurt you, no matter what. Chen Changfeng found it interesting. You want to save your husband? Save your daughter? I don't know if your 980,000-year-old bloodline can handle it. Let's just say, if you can't take it, your daughter Lan Fuzi will have to step in. You. What? Come here. Ugh. Mother. It was then that Xiaobai, the demonic Great White Shark King stationed on Poseidon Island, approached the deep-sea demonic whale territory. Shock. There was nothing, no traces of battle. But the deep-sea demonic whale king's aura, which had dominated the world for millions of years, was gone. It had truly disappeared. The demon soul Great White Shark King Xiaobai thought it was a mistake, so she risked venturing deeper into the deep-sea demon whale king's territory. She couldn't see the huge figure. Instead, there were hundreds of deep-sea demonic whales swimming around and screaming in the underwater palace, making her wonder what was going on. Could the deep-sea demonic whale king have become a dragon and ascended? Xiaobai's heart pounded. Before she could turn back to Poseidon Island to report, a sudden light imprisoned her. Now that you're here, don't leave just yet. I'll be back to take care of you. The Great White Shark King, a 100,000-year-old demon soul, has a weak bloodline. But I can't let it go to waste, can I? Chapter 92. The Demon King is delighted and evolves the demon god. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The words hung in the air. Demon soul Great White Shark King Xiaobai's vision blurred. She vanished. The next thing she knew, she was in the deep-sea demonic whale king's palace, but it wasn't the deep-sea demonic whale king she saw. It was some kind of half-human, half-wolf monster, with the demon king and a sobbing Lan Fuzi in front of it. She was watching her own mother get humiliated. The demonic Great White Shark King Xiaobai was a sea soul beast who had briefly broken through to the 100,000-year level. Her long, gray-blue hair cascaded down her back, nearly touching the ground. Her eyes matched, a stormy gray-blue. Her fair skin had a faint, opalescent glow. The bridge of her nose was high and straight, her face slightly angular, but striking, giving her a captivating, exotic allure. Here you are, Xiaobai. Chen Changfeng stood and stretched. His eyes raked over her. Wasn't looking for you, but you were in such a hurry to get here. Guess you can stay and help me make a baby. It's gonna happen sooner or later anyway. What? A baby? Xiaobai recoiled, her mind reeling. What was happening? Where did this guy come from? Why was he here, in the deep-sea demonic whale king's territory? 1,000 questions flooded her mind, and she panicked. In the next instant, a sonic SOS shot from her mouth, aimed for the horizon. But it was all for nothing. With a deafening crash, her cry for help exploded against something thousands of meters above. That's when she noticed the shimmering barrier above them, just outside the palace, a potent shield that was keeping even the deep-sea demonic whales at bay. Xiaobai. Don't play hard to get. Chen Changfeng's lips curled. He rose and strolled towards her, a sneer plastered across his face. Even if you hadn't come today, I would have gone to Poseidon Island for you. Play nice, and cooperate. You have a death wish. How dare you speak to me like that? Xiaobai flared, instantly assuming a fighting stance. I am Lord Poseidon's mount, the demonic Great White Shark King. To disrespect me is to disrespect him. Really? Chen Changfeng chuckled. And where's Poseidon now? He's not exactly rushing to your rescue, is he? Xiaobai sputtered. You. I've dealt with worse attitudes than yours. Chen Changfeng was close now, his fingers clamping on her chin. And I've broken queens with bigger egos. Get a grip on reality, or do you want me to wipe out your entire demon soul Great White Shark clan? Xiaobai tried to fight, but she was paralyzed. Demon soul Great White Shark clan. Her heart sank, a tidal wave of helplessness washed over her. Her eyes flicked to the demon emperor and Lan Fuzi. This guy wasn't kidding, the deep-sea demonic whale king was gone, and those two powerful sea soul beasts were powerless. That was her biggest fear. I'll be watching closely. I'll deal with you later. Chen Changfeng turned to Lan Fuzi, huddled next to the demon emperor. You're up next. Kneel. No. With a cry, the demon king found some reserves of courage and grabbed Chen Changfeng's thigh. Leave my daughter alone. Huh. Chen Changfeng raised his eyebrows, a slow smile spreading across his face. Now, that's what I call being protective. So where do we start? Let me think. 2016 times facing forward, 1,783 times from behind, and 1,621 times with her mouth. Time passed. Xiaobai and Lan Fuzi bit their lips, their eyes shimmering with suppressed emotion. What happened next was pretty clear. To make a long story short, 3 days later, the demon emperor was jolted awake, a wave of cosmic energy descended into the deep-sea demon whale sea, piercing the water and enveloping the demon emperor and Chen Changfeng. The long silent system chimed back to life. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the pregnancy of the 17th child. Reward in preparation. Ding! Congratulations to the host for absorbing a wisp of yin and yang energy from the cosmos. The yin chi returns to the demon emperor. Reward: cultivation increased by 20,000 years, promoted to a million-year soul beast. Reward: bloodline evolved into a demon god, no official god position, but with the strength of a demigod, cultivation is infinitely close to a third-level god. Ding! The yang energy returns to the host, triggering a tenfold reward return, reward being converted. Reward 1, bloodline evolution, evolving into the second-level god, wolf god. New skill, energy absorption, strength of the divine body increased by 2 levels. It is now level 7, with a total of 10 levels. After the strength of the divine body reaches level 10, he is directly promoted to a first-level god. Reward 2, physical evolution, the life of the host soul beast will be increased by 200,000 years. Reward 3, attribute evolution, gain the light of the sea god, able to absorb the faith of hundreds of millions of creatures in the sea. System panel updating. Host, Chen Changfeng, race, beast god, elemental wolf god, evil wolf god, year, 990,000 years, due to bloodline reasons, unable to exceed 1 million years, years are superimposed, realm, level 2 god, equivalent to level 127 human soul master, soul skill, Poseidon's light, weight, still 990,000 years. Chen Changfeng frowned, thinking it was a mistake. The demon emperor blasted past the million-year limit straight into demigod territory. Why was he stuck at 990,000? And with his actual strength at the second level of the divine rank, why was this breakthrough so difficult? Was this some kind of foundation building? Unfair. Totally unfair. And this time, the reward was the Poseidon's light. Wasn't that Poseidon's soul power? It wasn't until he read the description that it clicked, Poseidon's light, the power of faith encompassing the belief of billions of sea soul beasts. A wave of pure black soul power exploded from the demon king's body. Lan Fuzi and Xiaobai stared, aghast. An irresistible force radiated from him, then, a 10-foot-thick pillar of black light shot skyward, bursting through the palace, ripping through the surface of the ocean, and stabbing into the clouds. Such a bizarre event not only alarmed Poseidon Island but sent tremors through the entire ocean, as every sea soul beast felt a pressure like a god bearing down on them. I've become a god. The demon king looked at the black divine power pouring from him in utter shock, then turned to Chen Changfeng, whose expression remained calm. How did you do this? Boom. Before the demon king could process it all, a thunderclap echoed across the sky above the ocean, black clouds swirled beneath the beam of light, swallowing the sky, plunging the ocean into darkness. It felt like the end of days. "That's the tribulation divine thunder," Lan Fuzi screamed. "And it's a million-year tribulation." Chapter 93 10,000 Years of Thunder Tribulation, Advancement to Chaos Divine Thunder. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 93, Million-Year Thunder Tribulation, Ascending to Chaos God Thunder. The Demon Emperor's excitement vanished, replaced by stark terror as the thunder tribulation loomed. Dark clouds choked the sky above the sea. The countless soul beasts below cried out, their very bloodlines cowering before the divine thunder. "Lanner," the demon emperor gasped, staggering, her face ashen. Ignoring Chen Changfeng, she clutched at Lan Fuzi. I don't think I'll make it through this. You have to survive." Tears welled in Lan Fuzi's eyes. She glanced at Chen Changfeng, her expression pleading, "I desperately want to run, but I can't, that damn land-dwelling beast god won't let me, All right, enough with the mother-daughter drama," Chen Changfeng said, cutting her off. He couldn't stand the histrionics. "It's just a lightning storm. You're acting like you're saying your final goodbyes. And you," he continued, glaring, "you don't get to die unless I say so. You're carrying my kid. You're staying alive until that baby's born. Not even a million-year thunder catastrophe can change that. Stay put." With a flick of his wrist, Chen Changfeng blasted a hole in the deep-sea palace's barrier and shot straight into the sky. He faced the churning thunderclouds, the demon emperor, Lan Fuzi, and Xiaobai stared, dumbfounded. Could he actually be able to survive a million-year tribulation? The tribulation thunder continued to gather. High-level soul beasts converged on the edge of the deep-sea demonic whale king's territory. Drawn by the spectacle, the figure in the sky became the center of attention. All eyes turned to Chen Changfeng, each gaze filled with a different emotion. They sensed that this was no human. Humans didn't undergo tribulations, and was that a land-based soul beast? What about the deep-sea demonic whale king? To many sea soul beasts, Chen Changfeng was an interloper. But his unyielding stance against the divine thunder stirred a strange admiration. Even the deep-sea demonic whale king didn't face tribulations with such composure, did he? Boom! The sky convulsed, the endless sea vanished under dark clouds and deafening thunder. The thick, smothering clouds blotted out the sun, forming a monstrous vortex, threatening to swallow the entire ocean. Chen Changfeng stood against it, dwarfed, a speck in the face of such immensity. He lifted his face to the sky. A wolf's howl ripped across the ocean, that impossible sound echoing over the sea widened the eyes of every soul beast. Chen Changfeng transformed mid-air, becoming a 1,000-meter-long wolf god, a being of two elements, incarnate. This was the beast god of their world, flexing his might. The fury he directed at the tribulation sent tremors through the very air. That feeling spread, a solemn awe washing through every corner of the land. Resurrected beasts raised their heads, staring at the sky with reverence, longing, and wild hunger in their eyes. Slowly, silently, blue beams of light began to rise from the ocean depths. The light, like luminous sparks, floated upward, converging around Chen Changfeng. What is this? Chen Changfeng frowned, then his eyes widened. The light of Poseidon. Yes, it was Poseidon's light, born from the faith of the sea soul beasts. The key to creating Poseidon's divine projection. A sudden understanding dawned on Chen Changfeng. The light of Poseidon wasn't Poseidon's soul power. It was the power of faith emanating from the sea itself. Feeling his strength swell, Chen Changfeng smirked. His gaze shot into the depths, locking on a figure standing atop the Poseidon temple, tens of thousands of miles away, Bo Saixi. Meeting those space-piercing eyes, Bo Saixi recoiled, horrified. Impossible. How could a soul beast's presence bypass the light of Poseidon and reach Poseidon Temple? Xiaobai, the demonic soul Great White Shark King, is gone. Has the deep-sea demonic whale king truly ascended to a million-year soul beast and become a god? It can't be. Lord Poseidon will never allow it. Though she couldn't see Chen Changfeng clearly, she felt the soul beast's aura. and the sky far away from the sea looked like it was destroying the world. Unease clawed at Bo Saixi. She sensed a cataclysm coming, a cataclysm that would consume Poseidon Island. Back in the deep-sea demonic whale king's territory, the world plunged into darkness. Dark clouds suffocated the sky, and everything around them trembled. Boom! Thunder ripped through the darkness, and the sky flashed. A bolt of lightning crashed down on Chen Changfeng's 1,000-meter-long wolf form. Roar! Chen Changfeng threw back his dragon head, his eyes blazing. His colossal body surged upward, meeting the lightning head-on. Heaven and earth convulsed. Then, the Tribulation divine thunder, the three-colored divine thunder, the five-colored divine thunder, the heavenly punishment divine thunder, the heaven and earth divine thunder, the Yuqing divine thunder, the Shangqing divine thunder, the heavenly punishment divine thunder, the heaven and earth divine thunder, and finally, the chaos divine thunder, rained down without cease. As if sensing Chen Changfeng's defiance, the heavenly thunder descended with annihilating force. Finally, a massive ball of lightning formed in the sky. It swallowed Chen Changfeng whole. The Tribulation divine thunder sought to obliterate him. The energy contained within would make even gods cower. Even distant Poseidon Island shuddered before this true thunder of destruction, but in the expectant eyes of the demon emperor, Lan Fuzi, and Xiaobai. The power of the thunder didn't shatter their hopes. A vortex appeared at the heart of the swirling lightning, and in the next instant, it began to siphon off the thunder, drawing it inward. Awu! Chen Changfeng roared, and the thunder in the sky vanished into his maw. The heavenly tribulation was gone. The 1,000-meter-long divine wolf in the sky radiated black and white lightning. His divine roots were complete. He was a chaos god thunder. The sky cleared, warm sunlight bathed the sea. At Chen Changfeng's will, the devoured heavenly tribulation churned within his body, his ultimate thunder power amplified by the chaos god thunder skill. Yes, a magic skill, the ultimate thunder and chaos divine thunder, a force capable of slaying gods. Chapter 94 Punishing the Demon Soul. Great White Shark Xiaobai, specializing in treating tough talk. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 94, Punishing the Great White Shark Xiaobai, a specialist in treating tough talk. The thunder vanished, the demon emperor, Lan Fuzi, and the three Xiaobai girls showed a mix of loss, panic, and despair. They were done for. The beast hadn't died, they were toast. All that awaited them was an inescapable hell on earth. The vision faded, and the sky returned to normal. Chen Changfeng returned energized, feeling refreshed. A faint light of the sea god surrounded him. Empowered by the faith of the sea soul beast, he felt he could break through the million-year barrier. He could break through to become a land god like the demon emperor, but also had the chance to become a true god, Poseidon's divine inheritance. Too weak, he was just a first-level god, and Chen Changfeng was already nearing that level. A bold idea struck him: if elemental powers could merge and complement each other, could divine powers do the same? That made sense. Poseidon's light, the angel's light, Rakshas's power, Asura's energy, plus the dragon god's bloodline, 5 powerful divine forces in the Douluo Continent. What if these powers were combined? He had to try, otherwise, it was unrealistic to fight the entire Douluo god realm using only the power of one Douluo god. True power came from within. With enough courage, anything was possible. Having acquired Poseidon's light, he only needed to go to Poseidon Island to consolidate it. Rakshasa's power belonged to Bibi Dong, and the angels to Qian Renxue. Time to snatch their opportunities. Bibi Dong, looks like he would be breaking his promise. The greater the desire, the stronger the power. He'd need to learn more about the power of angels with Qian Renxue. Chen Changfeng returned to the deep-sea palace, invigorated and motivated. The 3 women, on the other hand, looked pale. What's with the long faces? Chen Changfeng smiled, his expression unreadable. Demon Emperor, you've seen it for yourself. I can help you break through 1,000,000 years and become a god. Do you still think I'm bullying you? You, said the demon emperor. Shoo, Chen Changfeng interrupted, putting a hand over her mouth. You're not helping Lan Fuzi by being so stubborn, you're holding her back. I can give you what that useless deep-sea demon whale king can't. Bo Saixi became a god tens of thousands of years ago, right? For all that time, you've been trapped in this deep-sea palace, with no freedom. Do you think he'll ever let you go? The answer is no. Even if I spare the deep-sea demonic whale king, Tang San, Poseidon's successor, will kill him and take his bones and rings. And your fate will be even worse. The demon emperor trembled, looking at Chen Changfeng with fear, half believing his words. Nonsense! Xiaobai, the demonic Great White Shark King, exclaimed, her pupils shrinking. Lord Poseidon has protected the sea for thousands of years. Natural selection is the law. You're slandering Lord Poseidon. You're despicable. Chen Changfeng glared at Xiaobai. You have no right to speak. You betrayed the soul beast and became a human's mount. Now, your ugly true colors are showing. What are you implying? Xiaobai demanded. What do you think? Poseidon's most loyal servant, Chen Changfeng scoffed. For millions of years, the sea belonged to sea soul beasts and was ruled by the deep-sea demon whale king family. But now, it's been ruled by the sea god and you traders for tens of thousands of years. Isn't it time to take it back? You're spouting lies, Xiaobai snapped, her lips trembling with rage. The deep-sea demonic whales are inherently evil, harming weaker races. Their crimes are unforgivable. What right do you, a land soul beast, have to interfere? You're full of it. Chen Changfeng wasn't backing down, he had a counterargument ready. You claim natural selection is the law of survival, unchangeable. Big fish eat small fish eat shrimp in the sea soul beast world. Just because deep-sea demon whales are born powerful, they're branded as evil. Then how is the demon soul Great White Shark clan not evil for preying on weaker sea soul beasts? Is it because you surrendered to Poseidon Island and Poseidon that you can arbitrarily change their nature? And evil killer whales? Have they ever attacked humans in millions of years? Chen Changfeng's voice echoed throughout the deep-sea demonic whale sea, sonorous and powerful. Xiaobai was speechless, he made a valid point. She preached natural selection, but labeled the demon soul Great White Sharks as righteous because of their faith in the sea god. And haven't sea soul beasts mostly avoided attacking sea soul masters? Weren't sea soul beasts hunted wantonly every time sea soul masters needed soul rings? And the sea soul masters pretended to protect billions of sea creatures. Chen Changfeng's voice, infused with Poseidon's light, reached every deep-sea demon whale and sea soul beast. Many fell silent, reflecting on Poseidon's role. He wasn't finished yet. The sea god claims to be righteous, the true protector of the sea. Chen Changfeng sneered. He rewards followers and punishes dissenters, claiming ownership of all sea soul beasts and then letting sea soul masters hunt them for rings. Is that protecting the sea or enslaving it? The demon emperor and Lan Fuzi were moved. They hadn't expected this land soul beast to speak such words. Shut up! Xiaobai panicked, losing her composure. If he continued, Poseidon's light would be affected. It knew that the Poseidon's light drew its power from the pure faith of billions of sea soul beasts, but it was too late. The Poseidon's light on the Poseidon temple seemed dimmer. Facing Xiaobai's attack, Chen Changfeng didn't cower. Traitors deserve punishment. Today, I'll punish you with the will of billions of creatures in this sea. What are you going to do? Xiaobai asked nervously. What do you think? Chen Changfeng seized control of her, restraining her completely. I have special methods for dealing with tough talkers. Just endure it. Xiaobai unwillingly knelt, the demon emperor and Lan Fuzi watching with wide eyes, not interfering. Fear filled Xiaobai's eyes, but she said defiantly, Lord Poseidon won't let you get away with this. Ugh. Chapter 95, Lan Fuzi, Xiaobai All One, Evolve, Evolution. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 95, Lan Fuzi and Xiaobai Level Up. Evolution. No lock is unpickable with the right key, and a soft tongue can sway any heart. For Xiaobai, time crawled by in the deep-sea palace, each day feeling like a year. But that wasn't the only thing weighing her down. After her disastrous mission exploring the deep-sea demon whale territory, no one from Poseidon Island came to rescue her. Maybe they sensed danger and didn't want to risk everything for just one shark. Whatever the reason, she was pretty sure she'd been abandoned. Wolf God, please, don't hurt my daughter. She's still just a kid. The demon emperor kept pleading, hoping to find a shred of decency in Chen Changfeng, but it was useless. Trying to appeal to a soul beast's conscience was a lost cause. Chen Changfeng remained polite, though. If he weren't in such a good mood, he would have disciplined Lan Fuzi already. A soul beast hundreds of thousands of years old, and you call her a kid, How is she small? Lan Fuzi had given in several times, only for the demon emperor to interrupt at the last moment. Talk about rewarding bad behavior. Mother, Lan Fuzi finally spoke, it's no use begging him. He's right. If I want revenge, I have to get stronger. I don't expect him to let me off the hook. Demon Emperor, Lanner. Chen Changfeng smiled, pleased. It seemed Lan Fuzi had finally accepted the situation. Having hatred in your heart was a good thing, at least it forced her to face reality, but eventually, she'd face an even harsher truth. Even at 10 times her current strength, she'd never get her revenge. Chen Changfeng didn't want to waste any more time. He stood, pulled Lan Fuzi to her feet, and led her toward the bedroom. Ignoring her lingering glances at the demon emperor, all the backward glances were almost pathetic. But Chen Changfeng enjoyed it. To skip the boring details, after a week, 2 massive surges of heavenly energy descended, and the long-absent system notifications started flooding in. Ding! Congratulations, host, on completing the pregnancies of the 18th and 19th children. Rewards are being prepared. Ding! Congratulations, host, on absorbing 2 strands of yin and yang energy from the Great Tao. The yin energy belongs to Lan Fuzi. Reward, increase cultivation by 20,000 years, promoting her to a 130,000-year-old soul beast. Reward, soul beast bloodline evolution, transforming into the devil bloodline. Ding! The yang energy returns to the host, triggering a tenfold reward return. Rewards are being converted. Reward 1, bloodline evolution, evolving into the 2nd level God Wolf God. Divine body strength level increased by 1, now level 8 out of 10. Reaching level 10 will directly promote you to a 1st level God. Reward 2, physical evolution. Reward, lifespan of host soul beast increased by 200,000 years. The yin energy belongs to the demon soul Great White Shark Xiaobai. Reward, increase cultivation by 20,000 years, promoting her to a 120,000-year-old soul beast. Reward, soul beast bloodline evolution, transforming into the shark god bloodline. Ding! The yang energy returns to the host, triggering a tenfold reward return. Rewards are being converted. Reward 1, bloodline evolution, evolving into the 2nd level God Wolf God. Divine body strength level increased by 1, now level 9 out of 10. Reaching level 10 will directly promote you to a 1st level God. Reward 2, physical evolution. Reward, lifespan of host soul beast increased by 200,000 years. System panel updating. Host, Chen Changfeng, race, beast god, elemental wolf god, evil wolf god, age, 990,000 years, temporarily unable to exceed 1 million years due to bloodline limitations, years are accumulating. Realm, level 2 god, equivalent to a human soul master at level 129, after seeing the system prompts, Chen Changfeng clicked his tongue, still unsatisfied, he was so close. Almost at the 1st level god tier. Lan Fuzi and Xiaobai combined weren't as generous as the Demon Emperor's rewards, it all came down to bloodlines, but he was getting there. Once he took Bo Saixi from Poseidon Island, he'd be sure to advance. The thought of taking down Bo Saixi in the Poseidon Temple and giving the God Realm's Poseidon a front-row seat filled him with anticipation. He wondered if that guy could handle it. Chen Changfeng wasn't afraid of Poseidon anymore, promoted to the 1st level Lord God, controlling the light of Poseidon, and wielding the dragon god's claw, he might actually be able to put up a good fight against Poseidon. The showdown was fast approaching. With that in mind, Chen Changfeng looked at the now submissive demon soul Great White Shark Xiaobai, and commanded, transform. God Wolf, I've surrendered. Please, spare me. Xiaobai's face paled with fear. She was genuinely terrified. What are you thinking? Chen Changfeng glared at her. I want you to transform so I can ride you to Poseidon Island. Poseidon Island? Xiaobai gasped, staring at Chen Changfeng in disbelief. God Wolf, are you sure you want to go to Poseidon Island? That's Poseidon's territory. Xiaobai's reaction was exactly what Chen Changfeng expected. Poseidon had thoroughly brainwashed her. The demon soul Great White Shark Xiaobai, was completely enslaved. Even without Poseidon, Poseidon's high priest could punish her at will. She'd been a gatekeeper spirit beast on Poseidon Island for tens of thousands of years. And there were the 7 guardians of the holy pillars, all titled Douluo-level beings. Even ignoring all that, there was the light of Poseidon protecting the Poseidon temple. No one, god or beast, dared to invade Poseidon Island. The deep-sea demon whale king was powerful, sure. But even he hadn't dared to leave the waters near the deep-sea demon whale king for thousands of years. Xiaobai's eyes flashed with panic. For tens of thousands of years, no one has dared to invade Poseidon Island. The strongest humans in the past were all defeated miserably. Wolf God, you should understand that at your level, numbers don't matter. Poseidon Island is blessed by Lord Poseidon himself, it's impenetrable. You can't possibly understand how terrifying it is. Xiaobai's message was clear. She was afraid of Poseidon Island, and she didn't want to go back. She was too ashamed to face them. She was making excuses to dissuade Chen Changfeng. Did Xiaobai want to return to the demon soul Great White Shark clan? Of course, she did. It's not that she was unaware of Chen Changfeng's strength. He could defeat even the deep-sea demon whale king. She'd seen him survive the tribulation lightning unscathed, so her warnings were pointless. She simply lacked the courage to return to Poseidon Island, abandoned and pregnant by the enemy. How could she possibly go back? But Chen Changfeng was determined to go to Poseidon Island. Ignoring Xiaobai's protests, Chen Changfeng said in a cold voice, I must go to Poseidon Island. With the blessing of Poseidon's light, it's the perfect place for you 3 to have your babies. I'm not just going for the light of Poseidon. More importantly, we're going to establish the might of the beast god in this sea, liberate it, drive out the human soul masters, and return the ocean to the sea soul beasts. Wolf God. Are you declaring war on Poseidon? Xiaobai asked nervously. The demon emperor and Lan Fuzi stared in disbelief. Challenge Poseidon? How dare he? So what if I am? A grin stretched across Chen Changfeng's face. Are you scared? Please support, recommend, and send monthly tickets. Check out my new book, Douluo, The Judgment of Destruction, the Divine Skill to Destroy the World. Chapter 96, Invasion of Poseidon Island, The Beautiful Girl Bo Saixi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 96, Invasion of Poseidon Island, Bo Saixi. Poseidon Island, Poseidon Temple. Tang San was gearing up for his 4th trial, defeating the evil Orca King, but after days of waiting, the Great White Shark Xiaobai, hadn't returned, and Tang San felt a growing sense of foreboding. Bo Saixi, the high priestess of Poseidon, was trying to calm everyone by recounting the legends of the sea. The ocean's area is 4 times that of the land, Bo Saixi explained. Imagine 4 Douluo continents, all filled with water. And that vast ocean is teeming with more life than the land. If those creatures were to run wild, unrestrained, the chaos would be even worse than anything we've seen on land. Long ago, the sea was chaotic. As they say, troubled times produce heroes. A brilliant genius emerged from among the sea spirit masters, and with his own power and unwavering dedication, he traveled every corner of the sea, wielding a trident and uniting the sea races through his strength and charisma. After 1,001 years, he finally brought peace to the ocean and was revered as the sea god, becoming a legend for all time. That's ridiculous, a booming voice echoed across Poseidon Island the instant Bo Saixi finished speaking. I've never heard such a flimsy excuse for humans to dominate the sea. Who is that? Bo Saixi gasped. Such powerful spirit energy. Who dares invade Poseidon Island? That with a wave of her hand, everyone vanished from the Poseidon temple, then reappeared in the air above. The titled Douluo guarding the 7 sacred pillars of Poseidon Island flew toward the temple, following the sound and scanning the ocean surrounding the island. Waves crashed, hundreds of feet high, as the heads of the deep-sea demon whale king and his offspring, Lan Fuzi, emerged from the depths. Hundreds of deep-sea demon whales followed behind them. Then, the Great White Shark King, Xiaobai, surfaced, with a young man standing on her back. The expressions of Bo Saixi and the Pillar Guardians changed instantly when they saw the deep-sea demon whale army. How could there be so many deep-sea demon whales? Was this their whole tribe? But it wasn't the whales that truly captured Bo Saixi's attention, it was the boy standing atop Xiaobai, a strange boy. Tang San, Daimubai, and Ma Hongjun felt a jolt of recognition the moment they saw him. They felt like they'd seen him before, but couldn't quite place where. Who are you? How dare you invade Poseidon Island? After a brief glance at each other, the Pillar Guardians formed a defensive line, their voices low. This was the first time they had ever seen sea spirit beasts launch a coordinated attack on Poseidon Island, a horde of deep-sea demon whales, and a mysterious boy. The combination was unheard of. Could the deep-sea demon whale king have evolved into a million-year beast? But the 7 holy pillars had more than just Bo Saixi, the high priestess, to rely on. They also had Poseidon's light, giving them courage and confidence to face any enemy. It was an almost supernatural confidence. The 7 titled Douluo, Seahorse, Sea Spear, Sea Fantasy, Sea Ghost, Starfish, Sea Witch, and Sea Dragon Douluo. The immense pressure of the titled Douluo was unleashed instantly. The sea surged as if feeling their anger, creating an awe-inspiring display. Sea Dragon Douluo stepped forward, standing in front of the other 6 titled Douluo. He didn't flinch in the face of the approaching deep-sea demon whales, because the light of Poseidon was his unwavering faith. Poseidon Island is certainly living up to its reputation. Quite a show you've put on, Chen Changfeng chuckled, his expression relaxed. Are you planning to attack without even trying to talk? Humph, Sea Dragon Douluo scoffed. Land spirit masters have no say here. I'm warning you to leave immediately. You are not welcome on Poseidon Island. I don't know how you managed to enslave those sea spirit beasts, but anyone who invades Poseidon Island is an enemy. Don't blame us for what happens next. Spirit Master. Where do you see a human spirit master? Chen Changfeng sneered. Am I not qualified to speak, you say? His voice dropped, the full force of the wolf god's power erupted, instantly suppressing the restless sea. Martial spirits trembled. Pupils constricted. Facing Chen Changfeng's wolf god aura, the spirit masters of Poseidon Island and the sea spirit beasts guarding it trembled. Even Bo Saixi, the high priestess, was forced to unleash the power of Poseidon's light to ease the pressure on the 7 holy pillars and calm the fear of everyone on the island. Does the king have a chance to speak now? Chen Changfeng asked, his eyes fixed on Sea Dragon Douluo. The abyss-like gaze sent a chill down Sea Dragon Douluo's spine. Such a terrifying presence, this guy's strength was beyond comprehension. How else could a level 95 Super Douluo be intimidated by a single look? With Bo Saixi's support, Sea Dragon Douluo quickly regained his composure. As the leader of the 7 holy pillars, he couldn't back down now, especially with Poseidon to protect them. Demon Soul Great White Shark King. Are you betraying Poseidon? What is the meaning of this? Sea Dragon Douluo's face flushed. Xiaobai finally spoke. It's not that interesting. I was forced into this. What do you expect me to do when Poseidon doesn't save me? Insolence. Sea Dragon Douluo roared. You'll be punished for blaspheming the power of Lord Poseidon. Roar. A dragon's roar cut through the air. Sea Dragon Douluo knew he had to assert his authority, and quickly, he didn't have time to think. Blue scales rapidly covered his skin, each one with raised edges. Soon, every inch of Sea Dragon Douluo's exposed flesh was covered in scales. A massive, spectral blue dragon appeared behind him. The 6th black spirit ring glowed. Then, a water dragon, tens of meters long, erupted from the sea, roaring towards the great white shark in the air. This was Sea Dragon Douluo's sixth spirit ability, Dragon's Roar, which compressed seawater to create a semi-crystalline water dragon. The only way to stop the demon soul Great White Shark was by force. Only in that way could the sea soul beast be frightened. Too bad, a good idea, but nothing more than that. Then, something shocking happened. The roaring water dragon abruptly stopped less than 10 meters from Xiaobai and froze into ice at an impossible rate. In mere seconds, the entire water dragon was encased in ice. Finally, the connection to Sea Dragon Douluo's spirit power was severed and it crashed into the sea, creating a huge wave. Then, a ray of wolf claw light fell from the sky, it tore through space and landed directly on Sea Dragon Douluo's head. A thunderous crash followed, and despite Sea Dragon Douluo's reaction, he was knocked into the sea. The impact created a massive surge. The dignified level 95 Super Douluo had failed to attack and been slapped into the ocean. The entirety of Poseidon Island trembled. Tang San, Dai Mubai, and Ma Hongjun exchanged shocked glances. Familiar. So familiar. Chapter 97 Humiliating Bo Saixi and Asking for My Son Tang 3. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You beast. Bo Saixi's face twisted in anger. In a flash, she was at the 7 sacred pillars of Poseidon Island, glaring at Chen Changfeng. You're a land-based soul beast who somehow managed to transform. After all that work, you're here making a scene on Poseidon Island. What's your game? Bo Saixi stepped forward, radiating power. Chen Changfeng's eyes lit up. Up close, the woman was breathtaking. She stood about 5'10", draped in a vibrant red robe. Her long, sea-blue hair cascaded down her back, nearly reaching her ankles. Her face was soft, giving her the appearance of someone no older than 30. Her beauty came more from her aura, nobility, elegance, and grace all rolled into one. In her right hand, she held a golden scepter, nearly 10 feet long, etched with magical patterns. At the top was a rhombus-shaped point, like a spearhead, beneath which a diamond-shaped gemstone glittered. Her appearance alone made her a rare beauty, but her presence was unmatched. Even Bibi Dong, the Pope of the Spirit Hall, couldn't compare. This was Bo Saixi. Her spirit was Poseidon, a level 99 peerless Douluo of the attack system, nicknamed Ocean Invincible, a human said to be on the verge of godhood. Qian Daolu and Tang Chen couldn't tame this beauty, let alone marry her. She was just out of their league, in terms of sheer beauty. Chen Changfeng figured Bo Saixi was a top 3 contender in the Douluo Continent, at least, until Gu Yuna and Qian Renxue showed up. Bo Saixi's appearance instantly supercharged Chen Changfeng. Easy. Chen Changfeng finally stood tall. Now that the real target had arrived, he wasn't interested in games. I'm here for 3 things. First, to tear down Poseidon Island. Second, to take my son, Tang San. I need his 6th spirit ring. And third, I want you, High Priest Bo Saixi, to give me a little Poseidon baby. Chen Changfeng's booming voice echoed across Poseidon Island. Silence fell. Everyone on Poseidon Island was stunned. Each of his demands was a bombshell: destroy Poseidon Island. He had to be delusional. And then to take Tang San. When did the heir of Poseidon become this soul beast's son? The third request was straight out of a fairy tale, asking the high priest to bear his child. What in the world was happening? Using the power of a soul beast to challenge the gods, where did he get the nerve? The deep-sea demon whale alone couldn't possibly be enough. It was unthinkable. Even Bo Saixi, not to mention the 7 sacred pillars, found Chen Changfeng's words outrageous, especially after he'd just publicly humiliated her. Her face burned with anger. Tang San simply smirked. Tang San. Chen Changfeng's lips curled. What's so funny? Ha! Tang San sneered. Ignorance. You're that wolf thief, aren't you? I see you've gotten stronger, but you're still just a loudmouth. A beast is a beast. You're still acting like one, even in human form. Really? Chen Changfeng chuckled and dropped the pleasantries. I mean every word. You think it's weird that I call you son? It's the truth. The Blue-Silver Emperor has pledged loyalty to me. She's pregnant with my child. That makes you my kid, doesn't it? What? Tang San's face paled, visibly shaken. Say that again. Don't believe me. Chen Changfeng, seeing Tang San's distress, grinned, waved his hand, and opened a portal to the Crystal Palace in the far north. The sight in the portal shattered Tang San's composure. Inside the Crystal Palace, several women turned to see the sudden opening. They assumed Chen Changfeng was back, but instead, they saw the endless sea and Poseidon Island. Mistress, Yin gasped, spotting her son. Mom. Tang San managed to choke out the word, then his eyes went red. He saw Yin's slightly swollen belly. His mother was alive. But she'd been taken. Where was his father? This was different than the gradual fading of the Blue-Silver Emperor's bloodline that he'd imagined. How could his mother be resurrected like this? He couldn't accept it. Especially the scene inside the portal. Aside from the Ice and Snow Emperor, Tang San recognized Huo Wu and Shui Binger. They looked just like Ning Rongrong and Bai Qinxiang had a few months ago in the Star Do Forest, pregnant. All of them were pregnant. By him. The portal closed with a wave of Chen Changfeng's hand. After only a few seconds, every eye on Poseidon Island turned to Tang San, the heir of Poseidon, facing this. You're a monster. I'll kill you. Tang San's eyes were bloodshot, his hands trembling uncontrollably. He finally coughed up a mouthful of blood. You monster. An impotent roar, that's all he could do. He could only scream in fury. Relax, kid. Chen Changfeng smiled. You'll see your Xiao Wu before you know it. Just hold on until I'm done with Poseidon Island. TSK, another mouthful of blood spewed out, and Tang San nearly died of rage. Where are the 7 sacred pillars of Poseidon Island? Bo Saixi, high priest of Poseidon, could no longer stand it. She stood in the sky, radiating immense pressure. She was scared. This beast wasn't joking, seeing so many pregnant women, human or soul beast, held captive by this man. He'd said he wanted her to bear his child. He probably meant it. Chen Changfeng had already envisioned it, a more exciting plan for Bo Saixi when the time came. Here, the title Douluos of the 7 sacred pillars of Poseidon Island turned and knelt in the air. Even sea dragon Douluo, recently blasted into the sea, resurfaced. He knelt respectfully before Bo Saixi. Bo Saixi said, anyone who invades Poseidon Island without permission will be killed. Use the power of the 7 sacred pillars to destroy that beast. Interesting. Chen Changfeng's lips curled. Planning to resist? Too bad for you. Not even Poseidon himself can stop me. As if provoked, the Poseidon temple pulsed with blue light. A torrent of Poseidon's light poured from the heavens, illuminating the entire island. A resonant hum filled the air. The trident, which had been planted on the Poseidon temple, shot upward, flashing a graceful arc of blue light as it soared over the island. Please support. Votes aren't useful. Just click. Chapter 98 only suppressed the 7 holy pillars and snatched the sea witch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 98, Crushing the 7 holy pillars and grabbing the sea witch. Artifacts have a will of their own. Is Poseidon pissed? Chen Changfeng squinted, seeing the Poseidon trident acting up. It's just a weapon, nothing to sweat. But this isn't just any weapon. It's like Poseidon himself showing up to defend his territory, which makes the 7 sacred pillars of Poseidon Island a much bigger deal. It's like their boss is standing right there with them. Sea Dragon Douluo floated in the air, his power maxing out. You'd think the smackdown he just got would have taught him a lesson, but he was already acting tough again. You beast! Poseidon is enraged. Where Sea Dragon Douluo found the guts, who knows, but he yelled, don't get cocky. Chen Changfeng glanced at the Poseidon trident, then looked at Sea Dragon Douluo like he was a mosquito. You're all talk. Fine, I'll use your blood to pay tribute to your god. Lunatic. The 7 holy pillars of Poseidon Island exchanged glances and went full on with their martial soul avatars. The whole island went wild. Sea soul masters and beasts alike were watching. This was the first time anyone had seen all 7 pillars together, unleashing their full power. At the same time, the 7 sacred pillars on the island lit up, blasting 7 colored beams into the sky that connected with the 7 tidal Douluo. Of course, all the lower-level sea soul masters and beasts were hyped. Poseidon was making a move, right there. Blessing his followers with his divine power, the light of Poseidon. Meanwhile, Chen Changfeng's side looked a little sad. Just him and a bunch of deep-sea demon whales. No wonder the other sea soul masters and beasts were giving him the stink eye. Like they say, the casual fan just sees the flashiness, but those in the know saw the real deal. When Chen Changfeng unleashed his full pressure, not only were the 7 sacred pillars speechless, but even Bo Saixi couldn't help but tremble. An extreme Douluo. The tidal Douluo of the 7 sacred pillars felt it the most. The pressure Chen Changfeng was putting out felt like it was close to Bo Saixi herself. That was their limit, but it wasn't even the top of Chen Changfeng's power. As they were trying to process this, Chen Changfeng didn't want to waste any more time and summoned his giant Dharma form. Everybody instantly focused on that. 1,000-meter tall, 9-colored wolf god rose from the sea. Step by step, it headed toward Poseidon Island. The pressure was overwhelming. Bo Saixi stared at the wolf god in disbelief. How could a beast get that big? What was even going on? The guardians of the 7 sacred pillars were also scared witless. They felt a power from the wolf god that they just couldn't fight. Chen Changfeng glanced at the demon emperor. The demon emperor got the message, and its voice, amplified by huge soul power, echoed around Poseidon Island. All sea soul beasts with a cultivation level of 10,000 years or less, clear out of Poseidon Island's 1,000-mile radius to avoid being collateral damage. Immediately. Countless sea creatures frantically swam away. No low-level sea soul beast questioned the nearly million-year-old soul beast. Even if they didn't get what the deep-sea demonic whale was saying, they weren't messing around when their lives were on the line. In less than 3 minutes, the area around Poseidon Island was basically a dead zone, except for the 10,000-year soul beasts who couldn't bring themselves to leave. By then, the 7 sacred pillars were running out of patience. Sea Dragon Douluo was the first to attack Chen Changfeng. Sea Witch, find his weakness. The other 5 tidal Douluo also made their move. Sea Witch Douluo, a level 91 attack spirit master, her martial soul was a devil fish. Her weapon, a black flute. Her most dangerous ability, mind reading. The Sea Witch can mess with your head, and with her mind reading, she's a real threat. She can read your next move before you even make it. That means tactics were useless. Crap. He's targeting me. The Sea Witch said, shocked. Her heart sank, and her face turned even whiter. She read Chen Changfeng's mind. She wished she hadn't. He was thinking about her and him in all sorts of graphic ways. It was R-rated stuff. What was worse, he was already thinking up baby names. Small fry. The guy was nuts. A total creep. The Sea Witch's defenses crumbled. Following the Sea Witch's scream, Sea Dragon Douluo, Seahorse Douluo, Sea Spear Douluo, and Sea Ghost Douluo rushed to her side and formed a shield around her. At the same time, Chen Changfeng reacted, a slight smirk forming on his face, and his space field widened. A dark aura spread toward the Sea Witch. A domain? Sea Dragon Douluo sneered, against me? Doesn't matter how many domains you have. Mine is called Breaking Demons, and it breaks all domain abilities. But Sea Dragon Douluo's smile vanished. Something was wrong. This wasn't just a domain skill. By the time Sea Dragon Douluo caught on, it was too late. In a flash, Chen Changfeng was behind the Sea Witch, and he swallowed her whole without a second thought. Sea Witch. Attack. The 6 sacred pillars of Poseidon Island were shocked. What surprised them wasn't Chen Changfeng's power, but that he had somehow cut the Sea Witch off from the light of Poseidon and then swallowed her. The Sea Witch, gone. Impossible. Chen Changfeng wasn't about to let go of that mermaid. He wasn't going to destroy such a prime specimen before he'd even had a chance to enjoy it. That wasn't his style. As the 7 sacred pillars shouted, their soul skills charged up, and an ultimate icy aura spread, absolute ice, freezing the sea. Poseidon Island and the surrounding waters instantly turned into a frozen wasteland, ice covering everything. Looking at Poseidon Island, you'd think you were in the far north. The deep freeze cut off the connection between the 7 sacred pillars and the sea. Even their martial souls were affected. Not good. Sea Dragon Douluo cursed. He could see that stopping Chen Changfeng was impossible. The four-titled Douluo's soul skills were finally ready, too bad it wasn't enough. Boom. Boom. The elemental attributes on Chen Changfeng's body blazed up, and the four-titled Douluo who rushed him were instantly blown away. Seahorse and Sea Spear were swallowed up by the lightning Zhang Yu conjured from thin air, while two wind blades appeared in front of Hailong and Sea Ghost Douluo. A second later, their bodies exploded, the lightning faded, and the sky was empty. Seahorse and Sea Spear's bodies evaporated on the spot, not even ash left behind. Chen Changfeng was brutal, no hesitation. He just grabbed the sea witch and then wiped out the rest, with his godlike power. It was like swatting flies. Chapter 99 Bo Saixi, Don't Force Me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 99 Bo Saixi, Don't make me do this. Everyone was shocked. Numbness set in. Unbelievable. Just a brief encounter, and something earth-shattering happened. The sea witch was devoured, and 4 of the holy pillars were destroyed before Sea Dragon Douluo even finished posturing. The sheer power was staggering. Sea Dragon Douluo, still reeling from the slap, swallowed hard. He finally understood how formidable Chen Changfeng was. Poseidon's light offered no protection, and a chilling fear took root in their hearts. The utter collapse of the 7 holy pillars left him utterly despondent. This level of assault was beyond anything a super Douluo could endure. Moreover, the wolf god exuded an overwhelming, inescapable pressure, a blessing that felt eerily like Poseidon's own power. No wonder Poseidon's light was useless against him. He'd somehow grasped Poseidon's power. Impossible. No one wanted to believe it, but the truth was undeniable. The holy pillar's power. Sea Dragon Douluo was stunned, afraid to attack recklessly again. High Priest, save me. Lord Poseidon, save us. Immediately, the 2 remaining sacred pillars blazed with light, drawing on Poseidon's power. Limitless energy converged above the 2 remaining tidal Douluo, forming a circular shield of pure energy. This was the strongest defense Poseidon Island's 7 sacred pillars could muster, but with only 2 divine lights left, its potential was severely crippled. Under countless watchful eyes, Chen Changfeng's wolf claws crashed into the holy pillar's defensive shield once more. Boom. The heavens and earth shuddered, Poseidon Island trembled. Suddenly, a crack appeared at the shield's apex, then it spiderwebbed outwards. The remaining 2 holy pillars coughed up blood. Without the strength of the other 5, the shield couldn't withstand the onslaught. Where there was one crack, another would follow. Instantly, the shield was covered in a dense network of fissures. Then with a deafening roar, the weakened defense shattered completely. The 2 Douluo were caught in the explosion. It was swift, it was decisive, it was unstoppable. Now, killing them was as easy for Chen Changfeng as squashing an ant. At the crucial moment, a beam of blue light shot into the sky. It was Bo Saixi, the high priest of Poseidon. Simultaneously, the Poseidon trident shone brilliantly, bathing in a torrent of Poseidon's light pouring from the Poseidon temple. Its already immense weight of 108,000 kilograms skyrocketed, and it hovered with a crash above the high priest's head. Is this, choosing a master? Chen Changfeng raised an eyebrow and smoothly shifted back into human form. Bo Saixi, her expression grim, stated, Beast, you've slaughtered the guardians of Poseidon Island's 7 sacred pillars. There's no escape for you. Poseidon's wrath is inescapable. Really? Chen Changfeng smirked, a look of utter disdain on his face. Bo Saixi, I'm giving you a choice. Surrender to me willingly, bear me a few children, and maybe I'll let you continue as High Priest of Poseidon Island. But if you resist, the outcome will be very different. Bo Saixi's face hardened. You'll have to kill me. I will never betray Lord Poseidon. Bo Saixi, don't force me. Chen Changfeng's lips curled into a suggestive smile, his gaze fixed on her attractive face. Things could get rough, and you'll quickly realize that your trinket can't stop me. As he finished speaking, a strange shift occurred. The Poseidon trident emitted a brighter light than ever before. Even the Poseidon's light from the Poseidon temple overpowered Chen Changfeng's oppressive aura and flowed towards the trident. Dawn had arrived. Is that Poseidon? Despair gave way to sudden hope in Bo Saixi's eyes, and then, within the line of sight, a golden shadow over 100 meters tall appeared before Tang San. The figure wavered with an ethereal presence. It was a golden-armored warrior. The golden light radiated a sense of limitless, regal power, covering the entire body, save for the face, which remained obscured. All creatures present seemed to sense an aura that could end their existence. The golden figure before Bo Saixi took a step forward, tearing a gap in Chen Changfeng's spatial domain. With a slight movement of his right hand, the 108,000-kilogram Poseidon trident fell into his massive palm. With a flick of his wrist, golden flames engulfed the trident, magnifying it several times, making it a perfect match for the golden giant. Faced with such immense power, Chen Changfeng felt a jolt of surprise, but he did not back down, continuing to stare at the spectral image of Poseidon. Poseidon, finally stepping in. I figured you'd wait until I leveled your whole island. A brief back and forth. Every human and spirit beast present couldn't help but swallow nervously. They broke out in a cold sweat, fearful for Chen Changfeng. That was Poseidon. Show some respect. Chen Changfeng's next words left no doubt about his true feelings. The Douluo divine rules, gods in the divine realm cannot interfere with the lower world. Those who violate it will be prosecuted by the 5 divine kings of the divine realm committee. Isn't Poseidon afraid that the Shura god king will come after you? Chen Changfeng glared at the Poseidon projection and scoffed. Oh, right, the ones who make the rules are free to break them. You and God Shura are in cahoots, aren't you? But you think you can stop me with a sliver of your divine will? You're not here in person. I'm not scared. Insolence. Poseidon roared, unleashing a wave of overwhelming energy. Instead of cowering, Chen Changfeng's sneer only deepened. Isn't it the truth? Because of you and God Shura, spirit beasts on Douluo Continent can never become gods. Chen Changfeng had found Poseidon's weakness. The god's tremendous momentum became a torrent of homicidal intention, sweeping towards Chen Changfeng. Secrets of the divine realm were beyond the realm of mortal creatures. In the blink of an eye, Poseidon's fury reached its apex, and an almighty voice boomed across the island. I've roamed Douluo's waters for over 1,000 years, clawing my way to the position of Poseidon. I created my golden 13 halberd, conquering the seas, invincible. Now, ignorant beasts have invaded Poseidon Island. I, in the name of Poseidon, will wipe out this threat. Bo Saixi, brace yourself, the first strike is unpredictable. It was time to throw down. Poseidon's golden phantom took another step forward. The Poseidon trident swung in his grip, throwing off brilliant golden halos and hurtling towards Chen Changfeng. As expected, Chen Changfeng's domain was nullified, and his mental power was shut down. Chapter 100 Completely destroying Poseidon's divine thoughts and occupying Bo Saixi. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With true divine power, something fundamentally different from anything on the Douluo Continent, Chen Changfeng saw golden halos approaching and narrowed his eyes. He instantly activated his space jump, the air shimmered, and he vanished. The undetermined storm was supposed to freeze an opponent for 8 seconds, but its success rate wasn't guaranteed. The stronger the soul power, the harder it was to work. In his current state, Chen Changfeng couldn't rely on it to hold Poseidon's divine thoughts for more than 3 seconds. 3 seconds was all Poseidon needed to kill. Poseidon's booming voice echoed across the island. Uncertain storm, combining offense and defense, is the sole restriction among the golden 13 halberds, and the strongest. Once it connects, nothing can move you for 8 seconds. But as everyone watched in shock, Poseidon seemed to sense something amiss with Chen Changfeng. The golden shadow moved again. Golden 13 halberds, second style, thousands of years of freedom. The golden figure leaped, dissolving into a swarm of golden light. Halberd shadows filled the sky, dazzling as golden clouds, engulfing Chen Changfeng completely. The golden cloud exploded, smothering Chen Changfeng like mercury. Golden 13 halberds, third form, once gone, never to return. Poseidon gave Chen Changfeng no chance to breathe. He spun in the air, the trident of Poseidon flashing with an illusory golden light, seemingly cutting through space itself and piercing the fading light of thousands of years of freedom. A deafening blast erupted, and Chen Changfeng disappeared under the golden trident. 3 seconds, it all happened so fast. Poseidon unleashed 3 moves in as many seconds, the undetermined storm's maximum control time. Poseidon was ruthless, indeed. Humiliated, he unleashed the first 3 moves of Poseidon's trident to obliterate Chen Changfeng and make an example for everyone on Poseidon Island and the sea soul beasts. It's over, the deep-sea demon whale side watched the sky, their hearts sinking. Though the light from thousands of years of freedom hadn't completely faded, they were sure that Chen Changfeng could not have survived. He was their spiritual anchor, and now he was gone. Divine power was too much, even for the strongest soul beast. But then the demon emperor, Lan Fuzi, and the demon soul Great White Shark Xiaobai had the same thought. Why were they worried about his life? Shouldn't they be celebrating? Yet, their hearts clenched. If Chen Changfeng died, the children they carried would also die. Then, Poseidon groaned, and the towering shadow flickered. The light from thousands of years of freedom dispersed. Everyone stared in disbelief. Was Chen Changfeng alive? Everyone, including Poseidon, gaped. Impossible. How could he withstand Poseidon's 3 greatest skills, let alone emerge unscathed? Yet, Poseidon seemed injured, his light unstable. I shouldn't have doubted him, the demon emperor said, shocked. Even as a wisp of divine thought, the sea god's power surpasses the realm of gods and humans. I wouldn't dare face that attack, yet he withstood it. How? Mother, what is he? Lan Fuzi asked, unable to hide her shock. I regret it. I thought surrendering to him would give me the power to get revenge. Now I see how foolish I was. I may never be able to avenge myself. Sigh. The demon emperor shook her head. I don't know his true strength, but he's right. This guy will lead our beast clan, even if our enemies are the gods. I just hope he'll spare your father. The demon emperor and Lan Fuzi fell silent. Xiaobai watched the figure in the sky, his eyes shining. Finally, Xiaobai said quietly, we need to reconsider this. The sea belongs to the sea soul beasts. The sea god's decisions don't matter. Poseidon was, after all, Poseidon. His divine power couldn't be easily resisted. Only Chen Changfeng knew the true extent of Poseidon's power. If not for the space jump, even a million-year-old soul beast would have been killed instantly. Shen Nian had the power of a second-level god, perverted. The most surprised person was Poseidon. He couldn't believe his eyes. The first 3 moves of the invincible Poseidon couldn't kill a soul beast. Was he cheating? It was the only explanation, though Poseidon could feel his aura faltering. He couldn't block another attack. Very well, you made me underestimate you, Poseidon said coldly, his light condensing again. But an ant is still an ant. You can't resist divine power. Really? Chen Changfeng smiled, and then said something that made everyone's blood run cold. How dare you claim divine power with just a wisp of Poseidon's spiritual thoughts? Even if you shout from the rooftops, I won't let you get away with it. Poseidon, boy. You. Why are you angry? Chen Changfeng spread his hands. Where's that only one in the world attitude? If you were here in person, I might respect you. But as spiritual thoughts, I'll show you who's in charge of the Douluo Continent. Point 1 day in the world of gods, 1 year on land. Chen Changfeng knew that it would take time for the deity in the divine world to receive the news of his destroyed spiritual thoughts. He also had to consider if they dared to break the rules of the god realm directly. There was a time difference, at most a year, at least 3 months. He would face unprecedented power. But it was enough time. He believed Bo Saixi alone could help him reach the level of a first-level god. He landed and looked at Bo Saixi behind Poseidon. Bo Saixi, I keep my word. Your master can't protect you. Even if his true form comes today, you have to survive for my child. Bo Saixi, you are shameless. Shameless? Chen Changfeng smiled. I'll show you my shamelessness when the time comes.